all right. Party people in the place to be, vandals and all you jungle captives out there. This is a brand new episode of How Did We Get Here? And yeah, we got two of our favorite guests back, two of the best friends of the show, I'd say. And yeah, can't wait to get into that. But Joe, you got your half.
Yeah, man. So this episode of How Did We Get Here is brought to you by Power Pulp Comics. Stories for your third eye. So go to powerpulpcomics.com to check out all the awesome indie comics from self-published creators. It's a collective of self-published creators creating a hub for facilitating delivery to the readers. So it's connecting the readers with self-published indie comic creators. They also have a Discord, so you can go check out the Discord chat with the guys over there. Music, comics, whatever, man. It's there's always something going on, something to talk about, so you can go check that out. We also have our giveaway from the Power Hour. We do a Power Pulp episode once a month, once every 2 weeks. So that's running till Sunday. We'll spin the wheel. You have one more chance to enter to win. Just go drop write Power Pulp down in the episode comments to enter, and you have a chance of winning a book, either Emerald Emu or 21st Century of Big Spider off the Power Pulp site. We also have a friend that still has a Kickstarter running. This Kickstarter is done, but it's still open for late pledges, so you can go back Blam and Glam issue 12 and 13. And our good buddy Adrian Kalaric has 3 days left of his Kickstarter for Todd LeBon. It's a wraparound cover for this issue, so you still have 3 days to go back that comic. Yeah, that's it.
Hell yeah. So, gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
I'm Patrick. I am a writer, and I've been on before, and it's a pleasure to see you again. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm at Comics. I've been on before too.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure to see you guys again too.
I don't know if it's both your third time, or it might be your fourth time. I think, ain't it?
Third for me.
Okay, so both third times. That's cool. Yeah, this episode's interesting, and it's really cool because we both had you on like really around the same time, within a month of each other on our show, and then through like DMs or emails and stuff, we kind of saw this book slowly develop in the background. Like Patrick talking to Nick, Gehenna came out. You're having Nick do some variant covers for it, so you showed me those, and then slowly you're like, yeah, we're working on this thing about girls and guns and stuff, and slowly we kind of saw this whole thing kind of start bubbling, and then all of a sudden Tigress Island, it's announced, and I was like, oh fuck it, it's actually happening. That's pretty cool. So it's really cool to have you guys here. We kind of saw it slowly developing in the background, so it's really cool to have you guys here to talk about this book, which is releasing in March 11th. I believe March 11th. Yeah,
that's soon. Holy shit, that's
it is really soon. It is really soon.
How did that happen?
So less than a month, 3 weeks about.
We started in September. That was 2 weeks ago. Now March.
So for anyone at home who makes comics and would like to be in the direct market in comic book stores, don't do what Nick and I have done, which is get a book approved and start it immediately and off to the races. Typically, you should bank things more than we've banked, but Nick is a workhorse, and we are abusing him, and he is delivering on a near monthly schedule a book that is so good looking that you would think it would take a long time, but it's just because he hasn't slept in what would you say you haven't slept in 2.5 months minimum?
At least I think 3 months. The time I save though, the time you waste sleeping is crazy.
It's true. Yeah, I can say all this because I can't draw a stick figure, so I can't take any credit. The art on this book is exemplary. But you know what sucks? And I apologize to our hosts, and I apologize to you too, Nick. It's so hard to be taken seriously when a writer says that, because a writer will say that to pump up his co-creator or collaborator, even if he stinks. And you see it all the time. And so I'm saying it sincerely. I would like the audience to read my heart right now.
Usually
and
you don't mean it, but this time you do.
This time it's with all sincerity. But it's a funny thing in comics. In the promotion of comics, we have a kind of a general dishonesty, and it's understood because it's marketing, right? Like there's when you see things get announced, there's always like a level, like a tiny pinch of dishonesty to people's, because they're selling something. But I can say, hand to heart, this is very beautiful art.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you
Thank
couldn't
you.
have picked
Yeah,
a
you guys
better
got
one.
to see it. I mean, I think the most important thing to know here is that it's my first floppy run ever, and Harpy, yeah. That was
So
before.
if you want to taste before the book comes out of what Nick has to offer, go pick this up, and you'll
Super
a
different.
very similar color palette, everything, man.
Nice,
You'll get go pick Harpy up, and you'll know what Nick's all about. Then you'll probably rush to the shop to pick up Tigress Island
on the 11th of March.
Yeah.
What I was saying, what I wanted to say is that, like, when Patrick said you shouldn't do a book like we did, I think most of it is just that it's the first time I do a floppy run. I've never done it before, so we were like, "Do you want to do?" Yeah, okay, let's do it. Like, we talked about it before, but when it was time to start, it was like, "All right, let's." So where do we start? Like, it was just like me not knowing. Now I know. Now I know. I need months to prepare.
Yeah.
I learned, like, I remember I figured out the characters while I was already starting to come up with pages. Like, but I think that energy shows, and it's very unhealthy, but I think it helps the book, because we're like, oh fuck, we need covers we have 2 days to make. Oh shit, okay, I stop the pages. I'll make a cover, and so everything is spontaneous. My entire life has been only Tigress Island since September, and it is very unhealthy. But that energy, I think, is really good for the book. I think the book has that. You know what I mean? It's not like this over planned thing. It's just
No,
what's the next cover? I don't know.
I'm going to glaze you further. Every page looks complete, but it does not look overthought. It looks like it moves. And this is, I'm going to hammer this a little bit. Gehenna taught me that readers would like things that move. And it is, I guess I intuitively knew that, but it wasn't proven to me until that moment that comics have been ponderous for a little while now. And we could talk about whose fault that is. I think I'd probably blame writers, but they've been ponderous for a minute, and it was lost on me just how many readers would like something that feels like it has a proper momentum to it. Mm-hmm. And a thing that Nick and I talked about a great deal before we started, and a thing that is of particular importance to him, is that things reach a terminus, things end, things have a place that they're supposed to go. And that's something that he championed from the first time that we talked. And now we see it in the work. Things are barreling forward. You know what I mean? Like they're on their way to something. And for that reason, I think it's a fun read. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that matters. I think that sort of confidence and forward momentum. Yeah, I sound like a president now. But confidence and forward momentum.
Things will change. Yeah.
I think is important. Yeah.
For me, comics is the beat, right? And there's different beats and there's different ways, but I think with 300 pages of Harpy, I've learned so much, and my focus was on movement. I needed to get better. There's nothing like a good beat that's followed, that's just movement and and so I've put a lot of attention on that, and I think it comes out really well now, because this book is more, I would say, dialogue driven, right?
The first issue, driven. I'd say, yeah, there's a lot of dialogue, setting up the characters, setting up the scene.
But being able to do both, I think, works really well, because when I write something, I'll either have a scene which is more dialogue driven for the beat, and then I'll switch to a scene which is more movement, or and to have both at the same time, the way we're doing Tigress Island, I think works really well. And we've talked about this before with Patrick, like being able to just focus on the visuals and know that the dialogues are just going to land perfect. I could just focus on the artwork, and at the end of the issue, when you read the issue, it's fucking spot on. Once again, I don't know what you guys think about
it. But I completely agree with you. Say like more dialogue driven, so it's snappy, right? Like just people talking, and it's just that there's a lot of word bubbles, but they're not dense. It's like quick, like just people conversational, right? So like you said, that it keeps a momentum, it keeps a pace flowing quick instead of having to stop on a panel and read half a paragraph,
Yeah,
right?
a good book.
Yeah.
You want to have fun reading it too. Like you like the story, cool. You like the drawings, cool. But you know which books are fun to read and which are painful to read. There's some books are painful to read, even if they're good books, right? And it's just so like a good beat, where you just inhale the book and then you want more. That's possible. I think in this case, I think this is my number one best success in a perfect beat in a book. One, because the dialogues are fucking spotless, and I'm not saying this. They're just I can just not think about it. I know, just trust what's on the page, and then I'll make my iteration of it. And at the end, when I reread it, when I finish an issue, it's like bam, 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 bam. It's fucking perfect. It's so much fun to read. And then me being able to push on the visuals and just being like, how would you react if you say something? You know, I exaggerated. It came out a bit more cartoony than I originally thought, but I just love how it came out. And I think it's a good book.
The way you guys set up the characters is great. Like you don't get like a backload of their characters. You kind of
Patrick, yeah.
You just kind of get their accents kind of, and like what they ask for when they first get to the party. You know, you got the vodka girl, you kind of just like learn who the character is and what their traits are, kind of slasher movie style, you know what I mean? Just through like introducing them, like showing how they talk colloquially. Okay, this is the ditzy Russia, this is the Australian girl. Like you kind of
the Australian girl, love that character. It's just adorable innocence, right? Just that adorableness to her innocence. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I kind of am a whore, but I don't like being called that. I like being called a wilted lily.
Yeah. There's I'm glad that it read well, because the first issue obviously is a dicey thing in any series. You have to set up enough that people feel invested, but you have to move enough that nobody got bored. And trying to dance, that's a fine line. And I know that a lot of times people that watch this podcast are not just readers. Some of them are creators or aspiring creators. And if I could give any piece of advice, and my career's not crazy. Listen to John Byrne or somebody, but if you just want a tiny piece of advice, they say don't put more than 25 words in a balloon. Cut that down to 16. Just keep things moving as much as humanly possible, because in real life, you and I are having a conversation where there's some expectation that I will explain myself and things to you. But most people in most aspects of life, there is a rhythm. It's, I stop, you go, you interrupt because you were going to finish what I was saying. You have something to add. And again, in comic books, if I can criticize a little bit, my peers and people who are also doing good work, if your balloons look voluminous, people immediately, it's like getting block text in an email. When was the last time you got block text? A friend texted me the other day, and it was block text, and I said, I love this person, but I not today. And that's how people feel.
Cultural? You think it's our attention span? Like we're just
for sure.
There's an aspect of that, but I'll say this: if an email, it's almost forgivable in a respect because there's nothing but the text. But to crowd good art with it's criminal.
Comics.
Yeah, it's not for comics.
Comics is a visual medium, so I'm 100% with. We need dialogue. Depends on the kinds of stories. There's different kinds of stories, whatever. Like I discovered recently that I was opposed to narration. It could fit in certain. There's good examples, bad example, but yeah, comics is a visual medium, and if you're putting blocks of text, you're just killing the visual aspect. There's no point. Just write an illustrated novel.
Yeah, right. What I noticed with a lot of narration is it's just ends up telling you twice what you need to know for the comic. You'll read it in a bubble, and they'll show you in the actual issue.
Or worse, you're living you're reading a scene that is amazing that you want to be part of, but the narration is trying to take you somewhere else.
So I always
have
defend
many examples. But
no, for sure. And I could pull some examples of the last couple of years that really didn't just take me out of a book, made me put a book down, like, just not into it. But Nick and I have had this conversation before. I defend narration when it adds something sensory. I don't think any type of explain nothing to me except the things that maybe I could assume from the drawing, but the confirmation can work. So, like, the example I always use is, I'm trying to think who probably wrote it. Maybe Matt Lowe or maybe Gerber, whoever would write old Man-Thing issues, right? And then there would be caption boxes that would explain about the rot of the swamp, like the smell of decay. Now, those are things that Nick, as an artist, is probably going to say, I can draw decay. You know what I mean? Like, but there's something to the sensory, like, are you hearing cicadas or are you hearing crickets? Are you hearing? And if Nick's point is let the reader fill that themselves based on the drawing, that's totally understandable. But I also think that that's the one time that I think any type of narration, using it broadly, is applicable and can work. But otherwise, I agree with you. Trying to explain anything about story in a caption box should be against the law.
I mean, yeah, I think there are great examples of narration that work. I just a few in a row that I had found when I decided to look at narration were just like hurting the story. I want you to read a comic that I did, and in a year, maybe a few months later, not remember if reading it. You know what I mean? Like, or I mean, I remember a long time ago, but when the first Sin Cities came out, I remember the story, but I don't remember reading it. Like, I know the story. I remember just
Visually?
going through it, living it, not living it myself, but you know what I mean? Consuming it, but I do not remember actually reading it. And the more fucking placards of text you're adding, and I think narration is one that's like, watch out with that. The more of this you're adding, the more you're taking me out of just experiencing the story and make, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I think that's actually, that's a perfect model. Do you remember the experience? If you remember the experience, the book was definitely successful. You know what I mean? So I agree with that. And Sin City would be a perfect model of that because, I don't recall, there's no line of dialogue nor, caption or anything that I can take away from it and isolate, but I remember every beat.
For me, those are the first books that did that to me, where I don't remember reading them, but I can tell you the whole story. I know I got all the books, I have them, and I would just consume them. And I wasn't, but yeah.
It was a very visually striking book, right? So it stays with people.
But
And
you never had a fucking bubble with 25 words in it. That would,
Well, with what you guys are doing, like Girls in Cages exploitation type stuff, that never came front loaded with exposition to begin with. You kind of meet the girls and get right into the torture. I don't think your guys' book is going to go too far into like that style. I've heard Patrick name Andy Sedaris films as more of a suggestion, but the beginning totally has that whole Judy Greer Girls in Cages movie type feel from the 70s.
It's a bunch of things, right? We mixed up.
There's a bunch of things. There's a bunch, all with under the umbrella of exploitation. Going, when we very first started talking, we were talking about Female Prisoner Scorpion 701, right? And that's outside of our Western movie idea of Sedaris style. I didn't read that one, but I'm sure it was complimentary. Thank you. We were talking about that type of impressionistic, 70s maverick filmmaker type of influence on the exploitation genre, and you do see that in some of these pages as well. But there's a lot of Sedaris for sure.
Oh yeah, like Female Prisoner Scorpion's rad. I got the box set of that Arrow put out a couple of years ago. Yeah, very interesting books. Very yeah, very Japanese for the '60s. You know what I mean? Like I love that era because they were really putting a lot of surrealism into their movies like that, which a lot of times you don't really get with action smut like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
What's the what's the is it
Pinky Violence.
yeah, I'm trying to think of the American film uh, Point Blank. Has anybody watched that recently?
Uh, Gross Point Blank, the one with John Cusack.
No, the one it's got Lee Marvin in it, and it's a hunter novel, like a Richard Stark novel made into a film. And I heard, I think it's Tarantino badmouths it. It's a John Borman film. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, so it's but it's so impressionistic for a crime movie. You know, it's not an art film, but for a crime movie, you really look like every scene has at least a shot that is painterly by any standard. You know what I mean? Like but that type of thing, Pinky Violence for sure. These are all influential outside of the regular, palm trees and large breasts, Andy Sedaris model. You know what I mean? There are other influences for sure, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I tried watching Hard Ticket to Hawaii last night.
Oh yeah, great.
It's just great. That first scene is overdubbed, right? Because they're on the boat. So
I got
Yeah.
with my body temperature. Yeah.
So
Really
right away,
good.
the first scene, the
Frisbee.
dialogue
The
isn't
Frisbee.
synced up with the scene. So right away, you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Is that
and what's
the one with
crazy is
Frisbee?
so that's the one. That one starts in such a that one throughout really is a confident but still like it's early in the Sedaris catalog. By the time that things progress, he the formula is dialed in
Yeah.
like too perfectly. You know, where
He's got it down to a checklist at the end.
It's like
he does.
blow up a shed, blow up a helicopter.
Yes.
Show some boobs, you know?
Yeah.
9 cast members, 8 of them are playmates. Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, precisely.
Yeah. It's good stuff, though. Like,
Lots of fake guns. Like, he loved guns, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and guns that don't make any sense too, like guns that border on the the science fiction where it's essentially a 9mm, but it's somehow it's shooting a missile of some type.
We're still in the era of one single shot makes a car blow up.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
That's like a TV era that lasted until the 90s where one
But his
single shot makes
his
a car
explosions
blow up.
look good, though. He had that down to a T.
I think half the budget, half of that $100 went into explosives.
Blowing up that, shooting a rocket at that blow up doll. Yeah. Expensive shot in the film.
Oh yeah, isn't there one where the guy falls off the helicopter or he gets thrown off? Is that what you
Oh
mean?
yeah, I mean I think that's it. Listen, Sedaris had a fixation with aviation. I would actually. There's probably scholarly works on this. I don't know if it was that renting planes and helicopters was particularly cheap in Hawaii and the Philippines and wherever else these were filmed, or if he just felt real passion for aviation because every film has some helicopter, some plane, and his assumption is that we wanted to see it, which is the funniest thing in the world. Who cares about a plane? But there's some films where he devotes almost montage length periods to a flight. Who finds flight that novel? Even in the 1980s, I still think plenty of people were on planes. so I don't understand, but it's a fun quirk.
I think that he's trying to harken back to old James Bond movies because if you watch,
Maybe
he's on a boat, he's on a train, and they're always on some kind of flying machine. And I think that's kind of like because all of Sedaris' movies kind of want to trend on the espionage angle of things, but
yeah,
come out more sleaze.
Yeah, well, they never quite land the Bond. The best Bond is clever. The worst Bond is worse than any Sedaris, in my opinion. But the best Bond is clever, and he never quite arrives at clever. But sometimes the effort is all that matters.
I mean, you feel like those movies are made just for their covers, right? It's
Yeah.
straight to video. It's sexploitation. It's made so that it doesn't land in the adult section, but just across, so that all the 14-year-old kids that pass, they're like, whoa, And they're like fun movies to watch, but you're like. There's no standard, like it's not gonna change the way you see the world, right? It's just the experience of watching it, which is kind of fun, but the point of these movies are just the covers.
Those times have changed, man. It's crazy. Like, we'll never get to experience that ever again, where you just off a whim, right? Just the cover, or you will maybe a little bit if you go into a comic shop. Like, comics are probably one of the last mediums where you'll walk in and you can just pick something just based off a cover, right? It's still pretty rudimentary that way. Whereas opposed to film now, it's all streaming. It's all this. It's all previews. You got your TikTok teasers. You got this and that. Whereas comics, it's still a very two-dimensional visual thing. So you get there, you get to the comic shop. And I mean, with social media, what
I'm trying to say is
guys and stuff,
right?
but you walk in and it's still got the shelf with all these books, and all you see is the cover. And a lot of shops bag and board them, so you can't pick it up and look through.
Right.
So you pick it up, and really, it's that cover that draws you in, right? So comics still has that element to it, which is super fun.
But also, it's pretty cheap. You want to take a chance? It's $4, right?
Sure.
You want to take a chance on a movie? What is it now? 20?
Well, okay,
roughly, yeah.
I've got two things to say on this. First,
yes.
There is a hidden language to thumbnails on what do you call it? Streaming.
Streaming, yeah.
Because when my wife and I scroll through, shows, movies, that there are visual cues that I cannot perceive at all, that she'll go, "Ooh, what is this?" And I'll go, "Why would you stop at this? What is?"
Sure.
But there is something that speaks to her sensibilities, that the type of thing she likes to watch, that they have really dialed in. You know what I mean?
You just don't realize it. But there is specific layouts and trends for any kind of movie. And that's you if you laid out an action movie as a rom-com, you could totally see it.
Yeah, I think now that I think of it, true crime has got like a scene with an ominous figure kind of silhouetted in the background, right?
Like, I can't think of it, but
yeah.
I couldn't describe it. I'm not good enough, like a good graphic designer could. But I'm sure if we had examples right now, I could tell you with films that I don't know, this is a horror movie. This is a rom-com. This is, you know what I mean? I think for sure.
But I'll also say that we got our orders. We got our orders in for final order cutoff on issue 1, and we feel like it was a total victory. It was really great. Tubi to the person commenting, Steve Coffin. Tubi is the GOAT. Tubi currently dominates all of my streaming, 100%. But the what I was going to say is, we got our numbers. We were very satisfied by them. Thank you to any retailers watching this. Thank you to any readers who ordered it. But what I wanted to say was, in my pitch to retailers, the email that went out to them, and I don't know how many read it or not, but I said a thing that I think every creator believes, but I think that you two fellas tell us as impartial jury, I think really applies in the case of Tigress Island, which is, hey, store copies are essential for this book, because it is a pick it up and check it out book. It is the cover is going to grab you, and if you flip through 3 pages, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt if this is for you or not. And it is an experiential thing, even on that tiny sample size level. So every creator wants retailers to pick up books for the shelf, but in our case, this is not self-aggrandizing at all, I don't think. In our case, You leave them on that shelf and they will move because
Mhm.
somebody is going to pick them up. The covers are provocative enough. They have enough titillation. They have some suggestion or of what type, and then somebody will pick it up. And it seems, and again, thank you to the retailers. It seems that it was that's what they took from it. So I was
So
really happy.
let's show people what we're talking about here. We'll go through the
Sure.
covers for issue 1. So you have your main cover, right? And I think another thing that isn't the title, like your logo for the title, so crucial. Like there's so many books I see that has poor title design, like the logo for the title, and it just, like we're talking about this on another episode, and it almost makes me not want to buy the book, even though the rest of it is spot on. But the way you design,
you like the title?
yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but that's a deterrent, right? If it looks like it's poorly designed, like it's just slapped together without any food for thought or any kind of, yeah, it deters someone from picking it up because it doesn't look like the whole package, right? It looks like an amateur, it goes a long way, the title, like just the logo design.
So I'm going to point out that the A cover that you just showed, Image is as cool about these things as a publisher could be, right? You are self-directing in virtually every respect. So, but they will make suggestions, and they will say things like, "Hey, you're going to be killing some sales with the logo being lower than the halfway mark,
because
right?
the other comic will come and hide it if it's on a shelf."
That's right. But I want you to consider that there is
still cleavage showing.
There's still cleavage. And my belief is that the cleavage speaks loudly. And
will sell more than the logo.
If you cover half that book, it only makes me want to buy it more. That doesn't know what the
put your hand is. And just show the red part.
Precisely right. So and I think it worked out for us. But listen, Image knows what they're doing, and on any other book, I would say, yeah, you know what, that is a good suggestion. But looking at this, I saw, respectfully to the audience, I'm sure it's a mixed crowd. I saw large breasts, and I said, you know what, it's more powerful than any title that I could put in the world.
And it's great the way this cover.
See, not only the breasts, just the fact to have this character.
Dominant.
Yeah, of course, all you see is breasts. But I mean, like, not even just for that. I meant just seeing this character above, all red, nothing else, the blue logo. I'm even more intrigued. I want to know what the title is.
The way it's laid out too, you got her on the top, right? That's very imposing. You get the title, then you get the girls on the bottom with these stunned looks on their face. Is it because they're impressed with her breasts? Is it because intimidating? Is it because
pick up the book and find out?
Scenario? Yeah, exactly. like, do they represent the readers that are looking at this cover?
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah. That's it.
So we have the B cover here, also by Nick here. This I love this cover particularly just because it's so rare that you get something from Nick that doesn't have a background. That's just on a white solid.
That's because of Patrick.
Yeah,
but Patrick always telling me like, I really like simple stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna make one for Patrick.
The red on that off-white just really pops. Like it just jumps out at you, right?
My original had a yellow background, I think, but this is the best version of it. Yeah. No, I play around with stuff, but originally it was made to have a yellow background. Yeah. It's supposed to look like she's covered in blood, but but you're not sure because it's also red and there's blood in the back. Anyways, but I really like this one, and I'm happy to see that a lot of people also liked it.
Yeah, because
I don't know between this one and the other one.
It reads from a distance, right? You could be like looking at the comic shelf, like way at the other end, and this cover just. You see the silhouette right away because it's the red striking. So you see that figure, you see the curves of her, the pose. It looks exciting, right? And that reads from a distance. So right there, someone will be like, "Oh, what's that?" And they'll walk over and go check it out. So I really enjoy that one. It's great.
My experience on Gehenna was such that I got feedback from retailers because I travel for my other job. I travel the country, so I stop into a lot of comic book stores, just have conversations, and basically every retailer tells me the same thing. You need a striking cover, and to my eye, the most striking thing you can do is have a figure on a empty field. Now, is that the most spirit of American comics, narrative driven? It's not, no, but it is striking, and it grabs people in a time where, to my eye, and forgive me, this doesn't apply to my colleagues at Image largely, and it
Oh, we lost you.
I think you hit mute on your.
You're muted. No, maybe it's his connection.
His connection's cutting out, probably. We lost your audio, Patrick.
Oh, no, he's trying to say something. No audio. Damn it, I wanted to know the end of that. He's out.
I don't think he knows.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Wait. No.
Oh,
No, you lost your audio. Wait, I think you're back. Say something. No, he's gone.
He's gone, and now I'm behind the cover. No one can see me. That's okay.
Yeah, there. Anyway, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. He'll be back.
He'll come back, and I'll move back.
To his strength, I know what he means. Like, if you look at his last Kickstarter for Leathered Gasoline, the cover of that is kind of like how he
described
cover. Yeah, because it's like a lady, and she's like standing there out by the road with the cars coming by, and then you have the evil eyes up on top. And it's a very creepy, very like sleevey
awesome
cover. But like, yeah, it really sold me. Like I was gonna get it anyways, but when I saw that A cover, I was like, yeah, man, it's gonna be a beautiful hardcover.
I'll go find it and load it. All right, so we'll finish up with these covers. This one. This is
to hear what he had to say. I hope he comes back.
Vecchio cover, right?
This is Vecchio, yeah.
I'm usually kind of against covers done by artists that didn't draw the book at this point, but like that's really nice. You know what I mean?
This was our thing, okay? Because there's a lot of gimmicks that we said no to. This is a special book, and I wanted to stand alone. I really want, like he was talking about earlier, Patrick, with the covers and the stuff and how you pick it. It's a bit of an experiment, and I think we wanted to be alone. So we said no to retailer covers. We said no to incentive covers. You know what I mean?
Ratio, yeah.
So all we did was 4 covers. I'll make 2, and then we picked 2 other people. And I almost wanted to try no variants, but when I work on other books, I live off of making variants. For others.
Paying it forward in a way.
From a collector's point of view, I don't know if it's a good or a bad gimmick. I don't know who collects them all or who doesn't, but I know that from an artist point of view, it's amazing. It makes so many artists work. An example is Vecchio has done how many amazing covers for variants, for books, you know? Anyways, that's what I'm living off of when I make books like Harpy. Every month I have to stop and, make a variant, but it's great that it's out there that we can do that. So I wanted to not overdo it, but I thought 4 covers per episode. There's only 5 episodes, right? So I thought it'd be a good idea.
I think he's back.
Is he back? Is he back?
I heard a bleep. There we go.
Oh, different setup.
Oh. We're on the Vecchio cover.
Let's go. Can you hear me, fellas?
Oh, much better. Yes.
Yeah. So everybody, your options were good. Yeah. So Luana, Don Berganda brings it up. Nick and I discussed this quite a bit. Retailers are in love with her, and they're not wrong. She delivers. She services her audience while also expanding what you're doing. It's really a blessing to have her on the book, and that's security. Everybody, the gentleman named. So for people that don't know,
you're on turn. You're at a hotel lobby, right?
No, I'm in the O2 Arena in London. And
on tour with Deftones. I've heard
on tour with Deftones, and that's their security guy, who is a sweetheart, and he brings the dogs around every day. We might.
Okay.
There might be dogs in the background at some point that are sniffing for explosives or whatever. But he's a nice guy. But anyway, point is, Luana, I'm going to give her a lot of credit here, and I don't think I'm over speaking. She expands every book that she's on. She expands the audience because she has her own fans. That's not a thing that every artist. We have great artists for our covers, great throughout the entire series, but not all of them bring their own fans to the book. Luana does that, so it's she's a blessing.
I think it was also a good thing for her to collaborate with the world that she's building with her books and stuff. It wasn't that far of a stretch to, with Tigress Island. There's
Sure.
a lot of other books that would have been harder for her to. I think you were in contact with her. I think it seemed like she was into it. Like she was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, I want to."
A really breezy, good work experience. Exactly as you said, it was. Yeah, I mean, look, working with Nick makes my life easier because any sort of administrative stuff that I've got to deal with, like, oh, let's figure out this artist. I'll contact them. Don't worry. Everybody looks at Nick's art and goes, oh, this is something I would love to be involved in. So it's different than if I'm just trying to sell myself on, hey, I'm a good writer. I mean, here's here's a lot of evidence of it. Nobody wants to read all that bullshit, but they can look at his art and go, look, I know it's of quality. You know what I mean? I'm not putting my name on anything I can't stand by.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Show the covers. Show the covers. Oh, we got another great one for issue 1.
Yeah.
What's it?
Yeah, just a sec. I'll load it. Oh.
It's very, very Sin City.
There we go.
So this next cover is from a gentleman who I was not familiar with before, but Nick has been an admirer of his work for some time. Now he's a Frenchman, I think, and he doesn't use his government name, so I might mess it up. It's Kaladin. Is that correct? Nick, does that sound right?
Kaladin. I don't know. It's an
Kaladin.
Yeah.
So,
Kaladin.
So he doesn't use his government name, so forgive me, Cal, if I'm messing it up. But he deals in a type of soft eroticism pretty often that was perfect for our book. And this cover, I personally, if I was going to go through our first issue as a reader that does not know the work at all, this is probably the one that would make me pick up the book first, based on my tastes, which stark image, monochromatic. You know what I mean? It would grab me very immediately. There's
Patrick's a leg man.
There's a lot of leg.
Patrick's a leg man.
Pat the leg man.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
there's
it's
a lot of-
Bridget. It's Bridget. You guys
Yeah.
know. No one else watching the show knows what I'm talking about, but you guys know. It's Bridget.
Yeah, it's a character that Nick and I both really enjoy. That's the other thing. I might have a bias here, but it's got a bondage feel to it because she's tied up. She's in form-fitting clothing, but it's not. It seems clear that there's some distress, right? So there's something provocative about it, and this is the one that I think, based on my own personal taste, I would go, oh, what are they doing over here at Image? Crazy, So I like this one quite a bit.
I'm very happy that because his art is black and white and it was perfect. So I got to try to add a logo to this, and our logo is 3 colors, right? It's not just a stencil or anything. So I got to switch the colors. I think I'm doing all right, but here it was very, very bold to put some red into this, but I think it worked out fine.
Mm-hmm.
I also I want to say that Nick is a really great collaborator in this respect, in addition to others. But he was getting feedback that not everybody agreed with his direction on certain design elements, etc. And without being a dick, it was sort of like he just kept saying, "I hear that, but I really have a vision." And there's something to that if you do have a vision, this is a thing that I had to learn as a writer. You defer to whoever has the vision on a specific thing, right? And
Turns out we're doing okay.
Turns out we're doing great. So so I was wrong. But here's the thing. This is what I mean. When somebody has a vision and it plays out, you're happy to be wrong. You know what I mean? Like there's no
it's
ego.
Not like I know, right? This is my vision. Like I like this more than this, but it's all just.
And you have a readership too, so you know your readers what they want from you visually or expect from a book.
This is
Patrick as well, so it's kind of taking those two sides. Patrick has a readership; he knows his readers. You have yours, and it's kind of bringing it together and finding that happy medium between what works for you and what works for, like, let's say Patrick, and what works for Nick, and bringing those two things together to create this
for me,
book.
It's so different from anything I've ever done. So I think if you like my art and you like, Patrick's stories, for sure, it's a great book. But I wouldn't be able to put that book next to, like, I don't know what else I've done that's even close. It's so new for me. For me, it was like a clean slate. Like let's see.
Maybe a little bit Final Frontier. The Final Frontier, maybe a little bit.
I started this. I had just finished Final Frontier, and it is
because it's a cast of girls going on an adventure.
Well, there's that too, yeah. But mostly just artistically, because these pages that I'm doing for Tigress Island, they're not like my Harpy pages, which are just inked flat color, which is I love doing that. But these are all hand painted black and white. It takes for fucking ever, but all. How many pages? 100 and the whole Tigress Island is over 100 pages, and each of them A3 hand painted in black and white, and then I color digitally. But the first time that's how I did my covers. And the first time I did that with interiors, was FFF. So I learned a lot with FFF. FFF is good. Final Frontier is very good, but I learned a lot in that book, which enabled me for Tigress Island to be like, okay, it's a lot of work, but I know how. Let's go. I know how to do it.
So do you want to zip through those other covers, or
go?
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So issue 2.
There's so many good covers.
This is the A cover by Nick himself.
This one has just a classic. This is VHS box.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Exactly. It's just like your typical. Yeah.
I just love the details in that one. If you look in the crowd, it's funny. There's a girl running with no top. There's another one. They're screaming. They're like, and I'd like to say that everywhere in the story, one of the characters she's called,
in there.
Nobody knows this, but her name is Delight, and she always ends up having a knife. And it's
that's true. That's good detail.
I've just done that because Luana did her covers of that character with a knife, and I was like,
there you go.
That's the reason. So whenever there's a fight, something happens, she shows up with a knife, and it's just because of the cover from Luana.
There.
I was like, that's so
you know
funny.
I'm going to say something that you said that this work differs from previous work in some different respects, and you also said that it's more cartoony than you had originally anticipated.
That I imagined, yeah. You know how you imagine stories before you.
No, listen, same, and people have commented to me, "Oh, this is maybe his most cartoony work," and
I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why.
I just want to say something, and I listen. I'm glazing 3 people throughout this entire podcast, which is Nick, whose work is great, but also the retailers at large and the readers, because Nick, I'm going to be honest with you. You know how I'm like always supportive and I'm like, these pages are fucking awesome. That's because they are fucking awesome. However, in the back of my mind, I went, they are rather cartoony. This is going to be a hard sell. And I was wrong again. And it makes me happy to be wrong because
I'm happy that you're wrong.
I think, let's say there's more graphic scenes where they're more graphic in nature. I think the fact that maybe it has a slightly cartoony vibe lets people process it more easily without being offended or,
no, there's no, I mean, on one hand, I have a theory about it, but on the other, I do not 100% control it. I imagined it a lot more serious. The way it came out was more cartoony, and I just went with it, and it just flew. And the fact that I knew I was having, like, I just signed on to a lot of work. I was just like, let's let this flow. Like, let's just see. I was sketching characters, and I'm like, I really like this. And that's one thing, is that I went with the flow, right? Mm-hmm. And so this story kind of popped out slightly more cartoony than other things that I do. But at the same time, there's the theory also that I have in all of my work, which is it doesn't matter how something looks and feels. I can make disturbing tragedies with little moron-looking characters. Like that's something that I really love doing. So I feel like it fits.
Let's just put it this way.
I'm the only one in my bubble, and sometimes I get emails, and we do video chats with Patrick. So that's it. You're the first two people who've read it. There was another writer who read it.
Take the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoon and make it live action. You'll get a totally different response.
For sure.
You know what I mean? People will probably turn it off because of the blood and the guts.
But I'm just saying it's those two things that I believe that I can somehow make something tragic, even if the characters don't, whatever. So there's that thing. And then, but then there's also the fact that I just went with the flow. It felt like Tigress Island wanted to be drawn that way. And I just went with it.
For me, man, maybe it's just the coloring, but like, I think it's your most realistic looking work, to tell you the truth. Like, you kind of, streamlined your style a little bit. You kind of they're a little longer than your characters usually are. So like there is a marked change. I wouldn't say that it's
more stylized,
more cartoony than your other ones. Just because the dimensions that you're drawing, they're a little less cartoon and fantasy than the women that you typically draw.
I think it's that shorthand, which is what every artist wants to get in comics, is like a quicker way to tell. We're telling stories. You can't take 3 days on a page, even though you're having fun. You have 100 pages to do, and so you're trying. And it's nice too. I enjoy work that is more expressive. So and there's no secret. Just do it. And after doing 300 pages on Harpy, I've learned so much. And then I did 50 pages on FFF, which are all hand painted, and shorthands comes in. And I think right after starting on Tigress Island, there's a lot of shortcuts that I take that aren't even for time. I enjoy them graphically, but it just stylizes and simplifies. You'll see it a lot in the comic when someone's less important in the back and they're having a bad day. The entire facial expression is a black bar, stuff like this. Angles. No one has angles, but if there's an elbow coming out, I will have fun making it super sharp. Those little details are just simplifying things. I enjoy them graphically, I enjoy them drawing them, but I think it gives maybe cartoony is the wrong word, just maybe more stylized. But anyways, this book came out way more stylized, a bit more cartoony than I expected. So you'll see the main characters that have the most emotions in the book, they will regularly lose their nose.
Yeah, like what's the Australian girl's name?
Bridget.
Bridget has no nose. Yeah,
3/4 of the book she loses her nose. Delight will lose her nose often too, and those are just for extreme emotions. But it works because you're reading the book and then she's shocked. Her entire face is just a mouth, and it's like right. I love that, but it does. You tell me, Patrick.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say I'm in always a situation where I mean, this is obvious from this conversation, right? Nick is the artist, and not just in the respect that he's a visual artist, but he is the artiste. And I end up, with a little bit more of the admin brain of trying to figure out like, okay, how do we sell this? Like marketer brain trying to, and I gotta say, I don't know. I don't want to get emotional, but I sometimes in comic books, if you've done it for a while, you can get cynical, and you can not give the reader the credit that they deserve, right? And our book, Nick has been saying this since the beginning. Let's not over-explain anything. Let's leave some mystery. Let's give. Let's acknowledge the reader's intelligence. And I was with all that because that's how I like to write anyway. But frankly, I do not always give. I'm gonna in complimenting Nick and in complimenting some of our colleagues that are more stylized and bold. I'm going to low key, as the kids say, shade some of our contemporaries who are not. And I don't mean to do that, but just bear with me. I often feel that the standard in comics that most people go to the comic book store for has degraded over the last 25. It's and my concern with that, because some people see it as an opportunity. Some people say, oh, that means that if you put out something visually striking, it'll cut through the noise that much quicker. Maybe, but I always get nervous that when a standard is set and people normalize bad work or normalize for this, we'll be generous and say stiff or dull. Yeah, maybe that's not less generous. Whatever. When the standard is less stylized and dull to my eye, you worry that people are going to normalize that and not seek out anything different. And that was, there's obviously there's a ton of precedent in comics for selling cartoony work, and certainly, I mean,
Scotty Young is an example.
Scotty Young, I mean, Bone has purchased more mansions than but it's Rob Guillory on Chew, right?
Chew, yeah.
And there's a ton of examples, but they feel few and far between. They stand out. You can remember them, right? You can remember them because they do feel few and far between. And I just didn't give the reader enough credit, and I just want to say thank you again to the reader.
I have a theory about that. I've had this conversation with other let's call it comic book showrunners and idea people for books and everybody who's well into the floppy system, because comics for me is a lot more, but that market is very afraid of breaking the rules that do work.
Yeah.
But I feel, not being part of that world and looking at everybody who is purchasing, who's consuming the media that's coming out of that work, a lot of people will stick to the rules because they're there and they're used to them, but they're all aching for new, different stuff. And whenever something new and different comes out, it usually always works. It just doesn't happen that often. But yeah, you were talking about both. There's a bunch of other examples of things and I think if you have a good feeling about something, we might have totally crashed. We're lucky we're not crashing. But I mean, just to be like, this is how I see it, and just go with it. I think usually the people who are at the other end, who might be interested in this, will be interested in something new and bold that has its own personality, that's not doing any gimmicks. Maybe it's just my idea of it. Maybe we just got lucky. But I think there's been a few books lately by others too who take chances, and all of them have worked better than the normal books where they personally do not take chances and try to stay into the rules and stuff. I think if you have a strong team and a strong idea, and just go for it. Yeah. I think, unless, I'm sure there's big no-nos, but
which might be what what we're getting to here is
okay.
Patrick, the B covers, right? Starting with issue 2.
If you want to show the covers,
Are they going to be
covers?
Because Patrick tried this with Gehenna, and from what I think I listened to an interview you did when you were speaking about it, with great success. Are they going to be black bag?
They're not safe for work covers are going to be black bagged. Yeah, I can speak to this.
One, for example.
Yeah, this is a B cover for issue 2.
Yes, that's the character Yulia, who is kind of our
she's a Russian gymnast.
Yes, and also she represents a type of flat and cold cynicism, You know what I mean? A type of seen it before. I'm unfazed by the horror of this cynicism. And it's a character very fun to write for that reason, right? Because the Bridget character, who represents a type of persistent optimism, she's fun to write because you can. What I'm saying is, you can put the period on any dialogue with either one of those characters because they provide the extreme point of view. You know what I mean? And so they will typically have the last word in it because they add the flavor. You know what I mean? They add the thing at the end. So a very fun character to write. But regarding the Black Bags covers, so we did a thing on this book. I mentioned no incentives, right? So for people who are just readers and they're not collectors and they aren't speculators, maybe they don't know this market too well. Sorry if this is boring, but essentially incentive covers are just like they sound. They incentivize retailers to buy X amount of books to get that book, right? Or to get that cover. So if you want this cover, you have to order 25 of another cover, or whatever it is. You have to order 100 or 25,000 or whatever it is. And then the retailer's job from that point on is to take that one of 25 and make that the, hey, we're going to mark up the price on this consummate with the orders that we put in, and we're going to try to nab a collector on that or speculator on that. And that's a business unto itself. And I don't, Nick and I are not judgmental of that. I do it on other books. And also because, as Nick has pointed out, look, there's people that are rough on variants as a thing, but they employ artists. They put more art into the world, and it can be a beautiful thing. But on this book, we did no incentives. And I was, as I said, I was saying, okay, it's going to cost a couple sales. I can live with it. But we went into it with the understanding that, okay, it might cost a couple sales. I think maybe there's a new thing happening because.
Yes, I was just about to say, I'm going to applaud you guys for this, because what the ratio and variance do is it makes it the cover unique to only these big shops that order huge numbers, and the smaller shops, like where I am,
like the 90s again.
Shops, I can't get those covers because those shops can't order 25 copies. So now you're doing this. It's more something you've done that is speaking to the reader. Like, we value every reader, not just the ones that live near a big comic shop or the big comic shops. I see it as more of a thank you to the readers, because even if you'll have a small comic shop, they can still order that cover for you if you really want it. You don't have to go try to hunt it down on eBay and pay an inflated price for it because it's through a third party. You could pre-order it directly from your comic shop and get it at cover price, which is fantastic. And I think more creators need to do that and think about the reader and not just,
I felt like I don't know the market that well. I learned about these incentive covers as it was explained to me by Patrick. I felt like it could be a good thing, whatever. I feel like I wanted to give this book its own little bubble. It's its own little island. And I feel like it was a gimmick that I feel like, the shop owners would appreciate
smaller shops for sure.
Yeah. If we were to work. Now it looks like it is working, so that's good. So now, and all covers are available for.
It just makes it more accessible to every reader.
Another thing about that is it makes it so a comic book company will have to buy 100 copies of a book that probably won't sell, and they'll just have a bunch of A covers stuck in a box and
in a dumpster.
They're happening all over again. You know what I mean? There are copies of this issue, and they're just not selling. You know what I mean?
So happens all the time. And I regarding what we're talking about, perhaps a new wave of thought on the subject among retailers, among readers. The thing that I've been saying to retailers, because I did not know if they were going to appreciate the no incentives or not, like some of the, as you said, depending on the size of the store, the ordering power, there's different opinions. And as you know, retailers are not shy with their opinions, very happy to give them to you. So I did not know but what I've tried to explain to retailers, and it seems like everybody's on the same page, is hey, when we do multiple covers, it's actually to reach a different reader with every cover. So if is this cover going to appeal to the person that does appreciate the Andy Sedaris thing? Okay, great. Is the Kaladin cover going to appeal to the person that might like the Sin City vibe?
Yes.
All those elements are in the book, so we're not ripping anybody off. You know what I mean? So it's, hey, what appeals to your eye? What makes sense to your sensibility? There is elements. There's no bait and switch. There's elements of all of these things in the book. So if one of these things makes sense to you and it draws you to the book because a retailer was kindly enough to order enough to have shelf copies, then hopefully one of those is going to sing to a different reader every time.
But even as you guys being creators,
all four, huh? Next to each other, it looks so
Yeah.
good.
yeah, we have
They
that
can look so
here. Yeah,
You,
just
you, you mean you have a yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
But even you
Uh,
guys as creators, like doing it this way, like you said, that sales are good. And as a creator, you want people to read your books. So doing it this way, there's no incentive. So you don't know if those numbers are inflated because you're appealing to the speculators
That's right.
or the
yeah.
readers. Now you
I
know
thought, let's
you're
simplify
appealing
it.
to readers, right? Because speculators, if people could just order these from any shop at cover price, there's less interest by speculators to go and snag them all off the shelf because they know what's the big comic shop?
There's Midtown. There's
Midtown. Like they'll walk into Midtown and try to snag as many covers as they can off the shelf to try to monopolize it and then resell it on eBay, right? So yeah, so this way the numbers you're getting back are real numbers. Like you don't have to think, is it because it's ratio and we're only appealing to the speculator market, or are actually appealing to readers that actually read comics?
We decided it was important. It's all about the book. I want to see how the book does by itself. You
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah,
I'm really interested in issue 2 numbers.
Yeah.
I know they always drop, but there's no I'm happy if somebody can make money off eBay off the cover. But the point is, the numbers will reflect more. Do people like this story? How
Exactly.
the book is selling itself?
Yeah.
Because we come from a lot of different places and we built this thing and we're like, we want this in it. But what Patrick wrote, we discovered something different. It's so much more than all these like any Sedaris movie. It's already, all the references we have, it's so much more what we've discovered. And I really want to see how well this book does by itself. It's all about the work.
I think it's a good idea to black back this thing. It gives away a total spoiler right there on the cover. That she's not a real blonde. Yeah, straight up.
So I want to say while we're talking about, that's a good point. I want to say while we're talking about this, the real reader, right? The real numbers, let's say.
Yeah.
So in American comic book direct market, again, for the people at home that maybe find this interesting, maybe don't, I don't know. Let's find out. I'll try to keep it short. There is you want the speculator on your side, right? Because that is a powerful block of buyers, and they can make a book hot. So you don't. There's people that have tried to provoke them going the other way. I don't need the speculators, fucking whatever. And that's not our attitude on this. It's not like go to hell speculators. But
I'm not against it.
No.
Yeah.
But this is me giving you your flowers on this one. I have a friend who he's a great man, but he wrestled with a cocaine addiction for a while. And the doctor told him, hey, if you do any more cocaine, you're going to die, because he kept waking up on the sidewalk. Right. And they found out there was a hole in his heart. And apparently you're not supposed to abuse that drug if you got a hole in your heart. So, but he said to me, I said, so are you going to stop doing the cocaine? And he looked at me in the eye and he goes, doctors aren't right about everything. And the point is that he knew the risks, right? And even as my friend who I want to live forever, I have to go, I respect your adulthood. You know what I mean? And here's why I bring the story up is because Nick was warned.
Because you went really far with
Yeah. But Nick was warned. He was warned that, hey, doing this with no incentives is going to be the raw readership of the book. There's no bumps, there's no tricks, there's no, you know what I mean? So you have to be willing to live with that. And
I believed in us, Patrick. I believed in us.
I'm with but this is my cynicism. I don't always believe in the market.
Yeah, that's what you're even saying before. Nick's like, not over-explain, not have confidence in the reader, right? And I think too many creators kind of lean towards the speculative just because they don't have confidence. I don't know, it's in themselves, in their work, in the readership. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like I find the speculator market is almost like a crutch to creators where, maybe I don't feel so confident about this work. Let's make some ratios to compensate because I put out a lesser quality book. We'll get the hottest artists, we'll put them on the incentive, and we'll break even now because we're at a some loss, right? I mean,
that happens a lot, but I'm going to give those creators I'm going to shoot them a little bit of bail in this.
Yeah.
It's not usually that it's not conscious, right? But there is a lot of fear, and there's a lot of fear of, are they going to understand my work? Yeah. Am I coming on the heels of something? There's a lot of things that are outside of the control of when you start a book to when you finish it. Now, again, nobody do a book like Nick and I have done a book. Give yourself a ton of lead time. This man hasn't slept in fucking 3 months, but we're not behind any 8 ball. And what I mean by that is there was a moment where the market was flooded with fantasy books. There was a ton of kind of sword and sorcery adjacent books. It felt like a trend at the indies, at Image. There was just a lot of it in the air. And that doesn't mean any of those individual books weren't worthy, but it means that it becomes white noise by the end of that cycle, right? And you feel like things are not that anybody is doing exploitation, seemingly. Although, Maria Lovett has elements of it.
Yep.
Luana certainly has elements of it.
Yep.
I'll be honest, actually, we might be the boys knocking on the door of the girls club right now, because it's really the women in comics. It's the women in comics that are doing closer to exploitation, closer to erotica, closer to it. So
and Merca as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Merca is she's her own industry, and she is as scandalous as we should aspire to be, as scandalous as she is in our book. But that's so we're knocking on the door a little bit, but we're not. A nice thing is that we're not certainly we're not late to any party, right? Mm-hmm. But I will say that there is that lack of confidence sometimes it's a lack of confidence in the retailer, who you do depend on as a creator. You do have to have that retailer share your vision in some way, or at least see the potential. A lack of confidence in the readership, sure, those things exist. And there's also just a general fear. There is a fear among creators, and it's difficult to break out of, because once you're bitten, like once you get kicked by that horse, and like I have friends whose books are great and have undersold in really unfortunate ways, and
I don't think you can control it. No, isn't there? I don't know.
Well, I think you did. You guys. Listen, this type of book, the exploitation book, you reached out to Nick. Why? Just go take a look at this book, and this will explain everything you need to know and why Nick is the perfect artist to work on this book with you.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
You've got to know your audience. You've got to know, picking a good artist doesn't mean a book will be successful. It might be pretty. But Nick has a familiarity with this subject matter because a lot of his pinups and a lot of his books deal with more racy kind of subject matter, right? So having him on the book comes with his readership that has an expectation that, yes, there might be some graphic element.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah, it's going
to. Yeah, and there's a fearlessness to it. There's a lack of inhibition. It's not stodgy in any way.
Yeah. So I think you guys, it's a perfect package you put together, right? Like Nick on the book.
Honestly, even if this book could exist without a cover, without a gimmick, it's just really good. I think we did really good comics.
You know, Patrick wrote this book with Maria Lovett. So there's an expectation that Patrick can deliver on this kind of book as well, right? Because there are elements a little bit of it in this one as well. So, and fantastic book. One of my favorites by Patrick. I mean, yeah.
Thank you. It's whenever it comes up, I always am inclined to remark that it is the book of mine that got the fewest readers up front and the longest tail of anything that I've ever written. It's
like many great stories.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. It's really any signing or anything I do of that nature. There's always somebody that comes up with it that says that they bought it simply on spec. They didn't know anything about it. They just like usually Maria, because Maria's career has taken off in such a real way that they check this out and it really resonated with them. So
I got this before I even knew your work, and I solely from the cover. I read the synopsis and the cover, and I'm like, all right, let's give it a go. Yeah. And Johnny saw I had it. He's like, oh fuck, you haven't read that yet? I was like, no. He's like, get on it. So then I read it, and I was like, God damn.
Like, I got it partially for the Giallo style artwork, but then I saw that the guy that co-wrote We Can Never Go Home was on it, so I was just like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, fellas. It's nice that one still gets recognized. But the what I want to say though is regarding the risk-taking element, I don't want to oversell it. I think our book is solid in a way that any reader can pick up.
I don't want to brag, but we have fucking. No, I don't want to brag, but I'm really happy. I'm under so much stress and to finish this book, but the pages I'm producing, I don't know. It's sad for me. I work well under stress. They're the best pages I've ever done. They're hand painted. They're beautiful pages. The dialogues are fucking sharp. The beats fucking land. Every single page is so much fun to read. I don't think we even need a fucking cover or a gimmick and an aisle or a little thing. This book is good comics. It's fun. I'm not saying it's the best book ever. It's fun. It's pure fun.
I'm
so proud of this.
I can't wait for issue 2 or 3 for when they start fighting back. That's going to be really.
Oh, the end of issue 2. Oh,
I think the payoff from this, Nick, from all the pain and suffering, the lack of sleep, the payoff will be so great once this is all done and wrapped up. Like you said, this is an image book, a monthly image book, which you haven't experienced yet. It's going to expose you to a whole new readership. Like you did Mawrth Valliis, which was with image, but it was like a little graphic novel, right?
This is my first monthly. That's what I meant. Sorry, it's my first.
You have your Wednesday Warriors that won't pick up like graphic novels. They want the floppies, right? So you're going to hit the floppy readership, right? You're gonna open the doors up to a whole new readership, and I think in the long run, this will pay off in ways that you'll look back on it and be like, what's a little lack of sleep, like.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. When we decided to do this, for me, it was because I loved the idea and I wanted to prove to myself, can I really hand paint 100 fucking pages? I wanted to prove this to myself. I knew I was in good hands and it was the first time I worked with someone else too. So there's a lot of first. I'm just, and I'm very happy. And even if this book did not work and was crashed, I'm really happy with what I did. That's why I do things. I can't do things just hoping that it might work. You can't put this much fucking sweat and this much fucking pain into a book because you hope that it works. No, I could draw a lot faster than this. I'm doing this because I want to prove to myself how good I can get my work, Every page that I make, the other books that I did, Harpy was like this, and FFF was like this, and I'm constantly going forward. And this book is the best work I've ever done, and I'm very happy with it, and that's why I do it. Now, it just so happens that it's also looks like it's going to do very well, which is great, great. But it's not why I do it, I got to fall in love with a project to put this much work in it. It's a lot of fucking work. Let's
zip through the last couple covers. We'll get all those thirsty readers out there. We'll tease them. We'll get them excited so they run down to the shop and add it to their pool here.
You can argue the point of this book is to. Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, this is my favorite one.
Really?
Yes, good.
Yeah, this is my favorite cover of the bunch. The other one, the sword one on the white background, that's my second. But this is absolutely my favorite. This is the closest because I love the red, the black. And it's almost silhouetted foliage. There's not much detail in there, so you have that very striking design element. Very striking design element. And I'm an ass man, so I mean, boom.
Gotcha.
From the back, great pose. The guns, a girl. I love her outfit. I love the design of this character. It's like aces all
Simple,
around. This
it's basic
fantastic.
Ilsa.
Yeah, Elsa. That's what I was gonna go. She's a brunette.
Yeah, I'm a brunette guy too, so I mean this checks every box for me, right? So
Well,
and yeah,
let me very briefly talk about that. So, there's
the haircut. The haircut is fantastic as well.
Oh yeah,
Not every girl can pull off that bang style of cut, but when they do,
No.
oh my god, that Egyptian bang cut.
Goddamn page. Yeah.
So this is so fun because you are obviously like, I don't know if you're a family guy or what your situation is, but you are just able to look at this piece of art and go, it's cool to have a piece of art of a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to, in whatever small way, remind the market, which is, hey, it's not all sweaty. Everybody just likes looking at something that is visually appealing in this way. If this was, if Nick's specialty was drawing lithe, slinky men, and but they were beautiful, but and they were just so appealing in the design of the human being that he can convey, then we would do a book of lithe men.
There's a market for it. There's a thirsty gay market for comics out there.
I just love beauty.
I've been asked, what I'm trying to say is that I think where the way I figured it out and where some people go wrong with this and some people don't is that there is nothing wrong with sexuality. There's nothing wrong with over-sexualizing. The line is with objectification. And I think that is the line where, if you have a purpose, if there's an idea, if there's whatever, there's nothing wrong. And I'm not talking for others. I'm talking for me. I have nothing against over-sexualizing certain images. Personally, I have an issue with objectifying. I hope, I like to think that I never come across that line, but I need a purpose for my ideas. All of these are characters and there are reasons for it. I over-sexualize a lot in this book. That's the point of this book. And for me, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think that's where the line is between sexualizing and objectification. I think this is where I figured it out.
Well, because your book, we kept talking about Andy Sadar's films, but I'm pretty sure this book's going to be quite a bit different. There's not going to be dude secret agents to come to the island and rescue the girls. I think that from what I'm getting, the girls are going to fuck that up.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to be.
They're on their own. Well,
we had a talk recently, and I won't rehash it, but we did an interview where we talked a little bit about the subject of exploitation as an idea and how it reads to people in 2026. And what I said was, and I guess maybe this will give me an opportunity to refine the idea just slightly, is the statement, quote unquote, doesn't need to be oversold or overcooked. The statement can be a story with real characters that feels like it reaches a logical end. And in those characters feeling real to you, it has, in whatever small way, I don't want to say transcended, but it has maybe elevated whatever the exploitation genre that you think of. But a lot of those films did have heart. You know what I mean? A lot of those films, there's the name's going to escape me. It's an island escape. It is an island prison movie. It's an island escape movie that it was only years late after the film came out that it was reappraised as being a purely feminist statement because nobody knew at the time that it was a female director. You know what I mean? But this is what I mean to say in this is it is the humanity of a work exists separate from these ideas about is it current? Is it something that people want to see right now? Is there misgivings about it? The humanity of a work transcends all of that. You know what I mean? And that's what, in my view, that's what connects readers, viewers, whatever the art form is, to a piece in perpetuity. Is there, for example, Sin City? Yeah. Let's take it back to Sin City. Sin City is an exploitation comic through and through, right? It's it's elevated by the fact that the art is some of the best ever put to comic pages, right? But it is an exploitation story. It is typically rough men, beautiful women, door kicking, violence in the extreme, right? And but the humanity of often the character twist, the twist that the characters have any humanity at all, it is the thing that brings you back to the work. You know what I mean? So I believe that by the end of Tigress Island, we will have hit some of those same beats where it is established that yes, there is good and evil, but yes, but take it out of the conversation. Are there characters? Are there human beings that you can recognize?
I think the simple way to say it is that we're clear with what we're doing from the beginning.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that might not like this will know straight away from looking at the cover that it's not for them. And yet, we're going so much further because what we actually did do is so much better. It's so much richer.
Yeah.
These characters are real. There's a twist at the end too. There's like it's more than what like it's resting on a foundation, and you'll know straight from the cover if you're into that kind of stuff or not.
And it's so weird, the mentality too.
More.
Like we've had creators come on and they're like, "Oh, you've read the book." I was like, "Yeah, we wouldn't have you on and talk to you if we haven't read the material. What the fuck are we going to talk about if you come on this show and what we're just going to look at the cover of your book and try to talk to you for an hour based on one cover? Like we need to read the material to know what we want to talk to you about, to have some meat, give us some meat on the bone, you know?" And like Johnny and I are dumbfounded. Like how many shows do these people go on where the people are inviting these guest creators on and they have no familiarity with these people's work? Like, what the hell are you fucking? It's dumb. Johnny and I just don't understand how people could just do things like it's just dumbfounding.
I can answer that. Those people got weekly shows to fulfill. You know what I mean? It's the same way that like, you know, occasionally you'll see somebody on Conan O'Brien or whatever whatever the current one is, where you can tell that Conan O'Brien didn't know who, you know, wasn't familiar with Harry Styles. You know, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. John and I record 2 to 3 episodes a week.
Yeah.
You know? We never touch on anything that we have a familiarity with. So anyway, I mean, whatever. That's just a small gripe. All right. The Black Bag B cover for 3, which is probably the least spicy of the Black Bag ones.
Sort of.
I don't know.
I mean, I noticed a little detail in there. She has a piercing, I think, or her.
No, there's a little drip. There's a bit of a drip.
Or is it braided pubics with a bead in it? I don't know. I mean, what is it?
You're getting some drip.
It's the end of a scene.
Tell us, Nick. What were you going for here?
I was going for exactly like Patrick was talking earlier. I had
Drip?
limited time to come up with stuff, and I'm like,
I didn't catch it right away though. But now that Johnny mentioned the first one, I'm like, there's a little bit of a theme with these black bag.
First we got Luana, we got Vetio to do the NSFW, the adult copy, and then
because there's one where she's leaning and she doesn't have the top, right? Okay, gotcha.
And then we decided to flip, and then I would make the A cover and the dirty cover.
Well, I mean,
cover. And then so we're just keeping that now, and I'm trying to go through all the girls I can. Right, there's only 4 covers and there's 6 girls.
Like I said, why wouldn't you, Nick? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you could do it.
All I do though. You've read Harpy too. Harpy has
better, right?
Harpy has zero sexuality. Almost.
Well,
there's 2 pages. Yeah, in 300.
But
it's not all I do.
It's a scene. It's not. It's a background, right? It's more
let me say, it's not all you do. However, even in Harpy, the character is obviously attractive. Like it's a visually appealing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's no, there's no overt sexuality, but it's
right
still,
up Johnny's alley. Yeah,
it's still of. I'll say it's of a piece to me, Nick. It's you know what I mean? Like it's of a piece.
Yeah. All right, so cover 4, A cover. This one's great. I like this one. This is like you wink at it in the first issue in the bushes, right? There's something in the bushes. So this, I guess, by this issue, they kind of come to a head with that. That might come to a resolve.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful that little moment
that you can read that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful that moment, because
Well, look at her legs and thighs. I mean, that's not from a rough night of sex. That's
No,
from a whole nother thing.
that's from the jungle.
Nick is going to be the one that he's going to be very satisfied by this, because from jump, Nick's he said, listen, I love everything that you've written so far. Here's my notes. Here's how I feel about this. Can we change this, etc. All collaborative stuff. And then final note, we need something unknown. We need something that hints at the mystic, that hints at the supernatural, but isn't specific, isn't beating the audience's head with it. That is there anything that can?
Plus,
is there anything
so it's not wild, or if it is, it's something else.
We can't spoil it, but
no, we're not going to spoil it. But there's little details. Look for them, and you'll see them, right?
But this idea it fits back into this idea of giving the readership credit, where, hey, there's something. Thank you very much, Don. I'm sure Nick appreciates that.
Yes.
There's something about a suggestion. There's something about not having to say everything. That I'm glad that you picked it up in the first issue, because I thought, maybe we're being a bit too subtle here.
Well, no, because even a character is like, "Hey, everyone, what the fuck is this?" And then,
But listen, in 2026, that's subtle. Let me tell you.
So you're not trying to be too subtle either. I mean, all right. So the black bag for issue 4, done by Nick himself as well.
Those 2 covers I did, those they're very rocking Jelly Bean. I realized it's very
right. So it definitely comes out, especially your skin tone coloring is very Jelly Beanish, right?
I'm just going crazy. I'm just going nuts. I don't know if you noticed, but since even a Harpy, every 2 pages I change color themes.
Yeah,
I love this because it keeps me interested, but the palette changes, but it is draining mentally, and now I'm just going nuts.
And once
now
again,
I'm going the cover, it's purple and pink, and that's it. And I'm going with that, or the ones before, I'm just going nuts with the colors. Whatever.
Once
sticks.
again, I got the foliage, fantastic.
Yeah,
that's what you like about this picture.
Oh, fuck. The other one too.
Yeah. I read the book for the leaf drawing.
I mean, no, but look, the background, the fork. I mean, it's not everything. You got a little bit in the front, so it creates the depth. Of the.
No, I agree. Listen, I'm a foliage man, and honestly, I want to say, issue 3 has some of the most remarkable foliage in comics. I'm going to give Nick I don't think anybody. I think I'm comfortable.
This is cover for 3, but he means this is cover for 3. Yeah, but
inside the book.
Yeah. Inside the book, because.
Here we
just
go.
Gorgeous. Oh, that's
can't
good.
See them.
There's a shot of the island. Like, this is fantastic. And I think you probably have an actual picture of this, right, Nick? Weren't you saying you had a bunch of pictures from your travels?
Yeah. But that's just from head. That's just painted. But this is from far away, so it takes a while to paint this. But in issue 3, we're in this.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, we're in the bush.
Great shot.
And I'm not saving any time with the background. Jesus fucking Christ.
No. There is
layers of jungle.
Now, I'll say that I work with a number of different types of artists. Some are background phobic, and what's interesting is that really couldn't fly at a certain time in comics. Now it gets much more purchase. Readers are comfortable with it, in part maybe because of manga. There's a general. And to be frank, there should be greater understanding from the reader that backgrounds, while beautiful, on a monthly book. Nick, if you tried doing 12 issues of Tigress Island,
everything that we've done is possible because I know there's 5. I know where it ends.
Okay. Yeah. Right. But if it was
that was the deal from the beginning. Let's make a limited series because I can't go on with this. I need to know how much I have before I get into it.
But imagine doing the backgrounds that you're doing on issue 3 for indefinite amounts of time. It'd be impossible.
No, that's called no.
And I was reading it, and I was DMing Nick. I was like, because I read it. I think I read it yesterday, or was it the day before? I'm like, yo, did that Olmstead guy? Did you slightly base it off Pat's likeness? And he was like,
not.
what? You think it looks like him? He's like, I don't
That's
think it
what I
looks
look
like
like.
him at all. I was like, what? No, not at all. I mean, look, maybe a little bit.
Wow. You know what? All right, I see it. I fuck with the vision.
Cheekbones. It's the cheekbones. You both have the high cheekbones, right?
Listen. I used to have cheekbones. Now I'm a little fat, but I fuck with the vision.
It's not on.
Gotta
If
get
there
you
is
those
any
little glasses
resemblance
now,
to
you
any
know,
real
those-
characters, it's not on purpose.
Purely coincidence.
And then, did we touch on the design, Nick? You guys you really wanted to go for that exploitation kind of 70s exploitation feel.
I love this, by the
Yeah.
way.
I look at that picture and I hear the music from Cannibal Apocalypse, man.
True,
nice.
Very
Yeah.
much so. Yeah.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
old TV shows, old late
Yeah.
70s, early 80s TV
Yeah.
shows. I mean, those were like for a long time in the late 60s, early 70s. They used to do before that in white, but in yellow is specific 70s. The what do you call it? The
Credits, yeah,
the
would come
credits.
down in yellow, yeah.
Yeah. With
Yeah,
that
good stuff.
font. And
Yeah, I knew you probably want us to let people see that. That's like the design elements of it. What else? Oh, you got one of my favorite.
that was
characters.
important for me. I mean, there's a lot of books that are just, it's not, I mean, it's about the content, but I thought we were doing something that's really fun, and it's so easy to add a few hours to make the design fit with everything else, just to help. Like the book, I don't think needs it, but I just feel like it's a better object. You're happier when you get it. You're flipping through and everything is thought of.
Is this the same as the cover? Is this the same
No.
image, or is it a separate?
Separate.
Okay, that's what I was
would
wondering. I wasn't
never
sure.
I would never not redraw.
Okay, just making sure because that's
I'm a
pretty much
masochist. I'm a
that's her though. But
masochist. I would never
that's definitely her
reuse.
character, right? So for
Yes,
sure,
yeah.
it's similar. Yeah, that imposing hands on the hips. Then the final page, there's a little
Don't show the
cliffhanger.
top. Don't show
Nope.
the top. Yeah.
Oh, I cropped it. I can't. So to be continued next issues. So
That's 4 of the 6. Yeah.
yeah. There's a little cliffhanger there. Yeah.
I brought this up a little earlier when Patrick was talking about typical stuff style, and like I think that this is a good representation of what
Yes.
he's talking about.
Yes.
The girl standing in the field. I love this cover. Like I was gonna get this book anyways, but this like really got me into like
Yeah.
wanting to own the hardcover. Like,
Well,
That makes me happy. That
That's
makes
a
me
great
happy.
cover.
I'll say this: it's a frustrating moment because
yeah, because we talked to you how many 2 years ago, and this was in the works.
Well, no, that's not what's frustrating. What's frustrating is that AI has happened, and now anything that comes off high effort as a painterly sort of thing,
Oh, people
Yeah.
just brand it.
it opens itself up to a criticism, which or to a speculation, and it's going to. I have a deep sympathy for artists working in certain styles moving forward because there's going to be all this bad will, all this sort of
Suspicion.
this suspicion,
Sucks,
and
man. Yeah. I know a lot of
and-
people who do stuff that kind of could be. And
Yes.
always. I mean, I've had to answer it, but some people really looks. Their stuff could totally be. It's not.
the guys who do digital painting are going to be the first targets of AI suspicion because that was such a popular thing for like the deviant art era, for the ArtStation era. It became such a thing that so much AI is trained on it now that it is it's unfortunate, and it makes me mad at AI because there's going to be a lot of people who have to justify their own work, and that's,
I don't think it's this good yet. I mean, like this
No.
reminds me of, like
I mean-
Michael Gatos, like a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff he did for Bendis and stuff.
And this is kind of what I was echoing before, like the true crime. You know, you got that ominous kind of figure or something in the background with the victim or whatever, or the person in the foreground. You know, and it's just
here's a funny thing, fellas. This is so. Tigress Island there's real violence and there's real stakes, but it has a lightness to it, right?
Yes.
Leaded Gasoline has none of the lightness.
no.
And I'm curious, it's
Are Are your pledges closed for that campaign?
They might be. It might be one of those rolling pledges. I believe that the campaign is done. It might.
Yeah, the
maybe
campaign is done.
there might be a rolling pledge. But
Okay.
here's what I'll say: the severity of the thing is really interesting to me, and these two books coming out roughly at the same time is fascinating to me too, because I get to examine my own work and go, oh, like, the light is light to me is easier to write. Like it is. There's that we talked about it. There's a debit. There's a rhythm. You know what I mean? There's but doing something heavy as a writer, you almost feel obliged to have real pause and real, like, you want people to soak in that there's a misery. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's really interesting.
Torture isn't effective if you rush through it.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is the trying to scare people in whatever respect by building a mood is also tough. But I'm finding these two books at the same time, and I'm also finishing up a series that will go to solicit relatively soon after time.
Let's see. Is it one of these ones?
It is. It's Regicide.
I sent you all the pages.
Okay. Well, you sent us a sample of the bottom one here, the Regicide. Right, Regicide. I don't know what that middle one is. I've never seen you post anything. Yeah.
So the middle one is actually that's on the back burner right now. It's with Maurizio. It's kind of our goth baddie does detective work sort of book, and frankly, I think it's going to go. It'll go pretty big, I think, because
I love that little the pic you used for that little thumbnail. It's fantastic.
Maurizio, I put in the same category of soon to be recognized masters that I put Nick in.
For people to know, I think he's the one who drew Gehenna, right?
That's correct. And this book is on pause only because we're doing a second Gehenna series.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's good news.
So originally, Maurizio had said, "Please, no more guns," because he is. If you look at his work, he's all about organic shapes, right? Like it's all about body. It's all about and guns for him are just these. He's Italian. He didn't grow up with them, and to him, they're just these almost boring boxes of mechanics that don't appeal to him. And so he said, "Please, no more guns." And I said, "Okay, do you want to do a series that has like a magical element to it? We'll have a beautiful lead, give you an opportunity to draw beautiful women, which you excel at, but also we'll make it a more whimsical sort of have fantasy elements and
have you read Friday?
Yes, I have.
Is it parallel? Could you?
You know what? I would take it. So, not X-Files, not Zatanna, but almost like Hellblazer.
Okay.
With a beautiful, shapely lead.
Sold.
but anyway, the book is on pause. The book is on pause because even though Maurizio wanted to do something that didn't have guns, we said, okay, we'll do. You retain ownership of Gehenna with us. Why don't we agree to it? Why don't we find another artist that you feel comfortable with, and they can do a second Gehenna book? And then we did that. And then Maurizio came to me and said, I think only I can draw this. And I said, and we said, okay, that's fine. Because
he's drawn Gehenna.
He's drawn Gehenna. And
I thought you were going to announce that Nick was drawn Gehenna now.
No. Although if he has any time during that time, I would love a variant. But it's thank you. But I can't announce it yet. It'll be I have a whole calendar I got to say,
It's going to
I've
be a big year
glazed-
for you too.
I've glazed Nick, I've glazed retailers, and I've glazed readers. I'm going to glaze Image now. Image has really responded. They've always been supportive of me, and I appreciate that very much. For people that don't, that maybe again, like aspiring creators or people that are earlier in their career, my experience with Image is they respond so much to the idea that you are a comic book creator first and foremost, that you are not trying to shoot one thing out into the world and then spend a year shopping it to Hollywood and then maybe getting back to comics. If you make it clear that you are a comic book guy or gal that this is what you do,
Dedicated to comics.
they will meet you on that level. And as a result, and also the result of Gehenna having some success, which was certainly helpful.
Right. So
Thank you. It means that I have Image has been kind enough to give me a lot of rope to hang myself with. I've got a number of series coming out, and it's everybody. Thank you for your continued support. I hope.
let's hope you just take that rope.
Yeah,
Try. You mismeasured and your feet hit the floor
please,
when you jump off that chair.
please, or at least I die in spectacular fashion where my head pops off.
Yeah, but make it entertaining at least.
Yes.
Make sure you're filming it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Would you have any interest in putting out Gehenna Collected Edition, but the black and white?
Yeah, actually. So we didn't know what the response was going to be. There was originally Gehenna ran black and white in
The 30th anniversary 12 issue, once a month anthology. Yeah.
Yeah, and frankly, I love that anthology for teaching me how to write in 8-page series, which I had never done before, and I'm now applying to all of my work in some way, shape, or form. So, but since it had already run in the anthology, at first we weren't going to do single issues at all. Image said, let's bang it out to trade. And I said, if I color this, can we do single issues? And they said, yeah, if you want, but it wasn't, it was, hey, this might not make financial sense, was basically the suggestion. And we did it. It was a surprise success. And it's opened some doors for me, certainly. But I want to capitalize without exploiting. Does that make sense?
The original version was black and white, though.
Yeah, well, for sure. And frankly, because Maurizio wants to continue, what I would love to do
Artist edition.
I would love to get to a third series and then collect it all in Tankobon format, get it out to a completely different reader.
That'd be cool.
Just because at that point we'd be at the thickness. It would certainly
make sense for black and white as well.
Makes sense for black and white. Maurizio's work certainly carries. I mean, Matteo Vittani has done majestic work coloring Maurizio, but Maurizio's black and white is standalone. It certainly is great. And yeah, I would love to reach a different reader in that respect. And also, I personally I did not know they were a thing. I don't know if the shops that I'm going to are under ordering them or what, but Image is doing essentially a black and white artist edition, like 2-issue collections. Have you seen these?
Yeah. Well, I think Big Two's doing it as well for their first issues, like Absolute
really?
Batman Gargoyle for Irwin Pop, not Irwin, Pop, Raphael.
Okay. Yeah.
He has like issue 1 of the Batman Gargoyle. They have an artist edition that's just black and white. Absolute Batman #1. They released a black and white artist edition, just of the floppy, the first issue, right? So there is a taste for it. There's a market for it. People You know,
And
obviously Batman's a big name, right? So people are going to rush to the shops to buy
Image
it. But
has done it too. I
Yeah.
forget the name of it.
Is it the Bengal book? Is that the one that I'm trying to think of?
I know that J.H. White the Third, or what's his name, John, the guy that did works really big in DC all the time. A painterly guy. He did a landscape book for Image, and like they put out copies of that.
Oh yes, I forget the name. Yeah.
J.H. Williams the Third, I think is his name.
okay, yeah,
That's the name, but I don't remember. I can't remember the name.
Echo
I
Land.
see the book.
Echo.
Echo Land. Yeah.
Okay, so to answer your question, I'm down for any of that stuff that doesn't. What's the expression when you overexploit something? Anything that doesn't
Play it out. Play it out.
You don't want to over milk a cow like Nick's work on so nobody's seen the black and white of Nick's work, but it is unreal good because it's a moodiness that the color counterbalances in some small way, right? So the color is going to immediately draw eyes, but in black and white,
I have a piece coming. Don't tell my wife.
Oh, that's really nice. In black and white, it's a moody book.
You got Harpy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a Harpy piece.
In black and white, a moody book. So can you take 2 bites of an apple? Maybe not this time, but Nick and I were talking about working together a couple years from now on something. And is there a way to double capitalize? Yeah, maybe.
Well, black and white stuff does shine, man. If you've ever checked out his Magda Gamma series,
yes,
it's so gorgeous.
Well,
that's old, but that is the same technique. It's just it's just 2018. Oh, 8 years.
Yeah, you've been working on this Harpy book for a while, man.
Yeah, 2 years, 2 full years on Harpy. But Harpy was not painted; it's just inked, which I love doing. But
that pinup was done in the style that we're talking about, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I did my covers. When I was doing variant covers for other books,
like the cover like that as well is done in that style.
That's a composite, but yeah,
we're
it's like when I do floppy covers.
Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick, how you doing on time?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Nobody's. Well, actually, let me just check my text, see if anybody's yelling at me.
300 unanswered messages.
Yeah.
The show started. Where are you?
You know what's crazy is Nick had to tell me that we were doing this at this time because I thought it was 8:30 at night. And
no, because that's Eastern in the morning, 8:30 in the morning for us.
Right, but I had prepared. I had worked it out with like the bus and all this to stay at this venue until 2:30 in the morning, and I was ready. But this is much easier on me.
Well, you had said anytime before 4:30 Euro.
Yeah, I don't presume anybody listens to me though, so I didn't know. But I'm grateful. Take me back for 1 second. We're talking about art, the black and white, the moodiness. Oh, what I was going to say is Nick is a successful self-publisher, and his approach to Tigress Island was, well, look, let's
you have
always,
them all?
yeah, that's great.
When I backed, what was it? This one, I think, when you did the Kickstarter for this one, right?
Yeah, and then you got everything else.
I got everything at the same time. Yeah.
His approach since the beginning has been, listen, let's always be on good terms with Image, but this book can live in different formats moving forward. Is there an audience for like an unedited? Is there the uncensored? Is there a audience for a more titillating version of this book 5 years from now? Is there an audience for somebody who wants to read it much larger? These are all things that now we did not know what to expect. The book issue 1. If we're going on issue 1 sales, this is a humble brag. If we're going on issue 1 sales, I think Image will be happy to partner with us on.
Future projects.
Future different experimenting with formats. If we want to try to
formats of this thing, yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy to do that. I don't want to speak for them. We'll have to talk about it. But if they weren't, and they said, "Hey, love the book, but we think it's maxed out. It's direct market potential. Maybe we can revisit it 10 years from now or whatever." Well, that there's a reader who never touches the direct market. You know what I mean? And Nick has reached them many times. So it's is that a person that we can reach on Kickstarter? Perhaps this type of book. I don't want to reveal. I think maybe a mutual friend of the show is working on something for the Big Two, and he's never done it before. And he's a very unique artist, and he's doing everything in his power to make his shot at this a perennial. And I think that that's what artists like Nick, artists like this friend that I can't mention because I don't think the book has been announced, but guys who have their own style, guys who can sell to the direct market, but also exist outside of it. I think that a perennial seller obviously should be everybody's goal, but we get so tied up in monthly comic book sales, getting a good issue one, all that bullshit. And we forget that something with a long life can be paying off your garage down the line. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We forget that there is a
residuals.
Well, you think in residuals, but you got to think also in multiple printings, like as you see the market, and that's, again, this is what I really love about Image is
because you have the trades, the collected editions. So,
right.
So these are all things that the different formats that they release.
Success curves.
Can
I say that?
Certainly. Yeah.
Different success curves. Yeah. Like if for me personally, Tigress Island and Harpy are kind of coming out together or in the same year-ish, but I'm just saying those are opposite success curves. Right?
Yeah, precisely. Well, reaching arguably different people, there's going to be overlap, of course, but the different the people that fall outside of the overlap are, to a large degree, a different type of success. So yeah, I agree with you.
I think they'll feed into each other, of course, but it's a different thing. Harpy is slowly gathering momentum.
Yeah,
when
it's a
Tigress
graphic.
Island is like, bam.
It's a graphic novel. It isn't a floppy, right? So people will pick it up and be like, "Oh shit, this is like $30 or $40. That's kind of heavy."
Love how you
but
just move it, and
three,
I could see how thick it is. I love it. I love it.
It's 300 pages of story. Like there's a few
accomplishment.
There's a few pinups in the back, but it's almost all story, man. Like,
and it's a one sit reading. Like this isn't one that like you're gonna get bored and like sit down for like a day or two. Like you're gonna sit there and read Harpy all the way through. Like
I read it in PDF, and I hate reading things in PDF.
What? He sent you a PDF, Dick?
Before it was printed, right?
Yeah.
If you turn that book around, the best quote I ever got, the thick one. Look at the pull quotes I got. No down, the pull quotes.
Oh, right here. Brandon
Graham? Look at the middle one.
Patrick's right in the middle.
That quote is the best quote I think I'll ever get.
Look at what a difference it is between a writer's quote and an artist's quote. I had block text and Brandon had a single
Brandon
line.
had barely a line, right?
I feel like an asshole now.
Harpy is truly unique and easily one of the best reads in recent memory. Patrick goes, Harpy has a perfect balance of heavy crafted and big personality. It drops in some place you've never been. Then gives you a lovable characters to guide your journey. Above all, it offers the rarest thing in comics or any other medium, an uncompromised look into the author's head.
You know what? I love it. When I said it takes you, I was being somewhat literal when I said it takes you to a place that you've never been. Not just because of like the future elements, the sort of the side, but like it's South African, right? Like it's which you never see in media. It's a beautiful place that you never see in any media whatsoever. And I was actually weirdly, in reading it, I was weirdly very grateful for the setting.
Did you hear the accents in your head too? The way he wrote it colloquially, I literally had people. Hey, bro, I heard them nasty South African accents.
I lived in Perth, Australia, where there's a lot of South Africans. Yeah. There's just a lot of South Africans. They settle there. And which, by the way, I'll tell a very quick South African story. Sitting at the dog park with a couple South Africans, they not young professionals, say 45-year-old professionals, and I'm saying, oh, you know what? They're talking about South Africa. I recognize the accent. I said, oh, you're South Africans. I said, yeah. I said, hey, forgive me. Is it as rough as people say? And yeah, it's a gorgeous looking book. I said, is it as rough as people say? And they say, no. I mean, yes, it's got parts, but no, it's not. It's not bad. It's like any place else. You go to the wrong neighborhood, maybe you find yourself in trouble or whatever. And I say, okay, because I'd like to visit with my wife, but she's a little scared. And they go, no. It's like, listen, we had friends that have experienced violence? Yes. We've lost 4 friends to friends have been shot to death. And I'm thinking, I don't know, five people. 5 people who have been murdered by gun violence? That's a lot of fucking people.
That's a lot of people, yeah.
And they took it as normal. No, it's not that bad a place. And meanwhile, my wife is scared of the United States because everybody's got a gun. I don't know 5 people that have been subject to gun violence. That's a lot of human beings. But South Africa, physically beautiful place, going through a little bit of a struggle at the moment. But I was, for whatever reason, Nick, when I saw the location, I said, you never see this. And it is such a visual, like when you have if to my memory, you have the one real like Cape Townish sort of vista, right? Where
it's that fucking mountain.
Yeah.
In the back, it's like a chunk of the Grand Canyon that just parked behind New York City. It's fucking epic.
It is.
It's born of a trip that I went there, but I have a friend who culturally helped me too because I wasn't there for that long. I traveled a bit, but I got some help from it, especially for the Afrikaans, the lingo and stuff. But no, it was important for me I loved it being there, and I needed to show, and but oh my God, the research I did to get some numbers right. Yeah, it's just because it's super segregated, right? You could live in a beautiful place and never know that there's any violence, and just on the other side of the fence is murder capital. But like, you have no idea. The numbers that I found are insane.
Yeah, it's a place going through a struggle.
You don't got a fire alley in your town?
Yeah. But a gorgeous book. I meant my pull quote. No BS on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one thing I want to let people know, if people are watching this, like, send in your original like fan art. You guys will be posting it in the back. Letters, send letters in, fan art. They'll have a section in the back that they'll be posting it in. So please send that in.
One tiny detail. If you're sending it in, send it to like DM us on Instagram because there's no address.
Oh yeah.
They're just like, send it to us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
DM us and get it to us relatively quick because the turnaround that we're going to have these pages at the printer from when issue 1 is out is very short. So hit us with it, but we won't censor your work as long as it's as long as the image can legally print it.
We just showed you covers, so just stay within those parameters, right?
Right.
Black guy covers. Yeah,
we're not blushing, but let's not get image yanked off the shelves.
And if anyone's interested in original pages, Nick will eventually be putting the original pages up for sale, so you have the link there. His original art page in the comments. You can hit that link there. I'll go drop that down there. So if people want to buy some of Nick's work, you can go over there. I'll go drop it in.
All my originals are there, and I sell every page of I'll keep the first page of a book for me that I draw, but I'll sell all the other pages. I just want to wait for the issues to come out. I think a few months after each issue, I'll do a drop, and you can just follow me on my newsletter. I'll give you all the links. You can put it on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't want to too much reflected glory. Is that the term? I don't want to bathe in too much reflected glory, but I'm excited for the DM reader who up to this point may not be familiar with Nick's work. I'm very excited for that response. I am, because I'm not a huge name in the DM, but I'm a known quantity to some degree. Nick has done work, but as you pointed out, it's been graphic novel stuff. Graphic novel stuff is unknowable to a certain reader, right?
It's
They'll pick
such a
up
different
trade.
world. It's weird.
Different
I don't
world.
understand it. But
No, it's
fine.
perplexing. I agree, but I'm very excited for the Wednesday Warrior crowd to have access to this. Nick, I think that you're gonna. I could be wrong, but I suspect you're gonna. You already do a number of variant covers. I think you're gonna be in the Luana territory of desirability of covers. I think they're gonna flood pretty quick.
I'd love to do more covers for sure. Yeah. I mean, honestly, more floppy runs like this, I'm going to be very, very, very careful. I would like the planets to align for us to work on something else again one day. But it's fun, but I prefer my
Yeah, you're going back to long form.
Yes. I have stories that I need to tell that are going to take me years to tell. So I think it's good with the covers because then I can stay there. I could be like, I'm working on a book for this year, but once in a while I'll pop up with a cover. But I would like to one day again revisit doing a floppy run like this. I think. What you?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
it's a lot of fun.
You murdered it. That you're going to need.
But
the
more
stress,
time.
The stress. I can't speak to that. That's rough.
It's not healthy. We should do it before I'm too old because it's not healthy. But it is fun.
You know what? Next time, we'll be better planners. We'll sock away a little bit of money so that we have a war chest and we can do it over the course of 6 months versus
so less hey, what are you doing Tuesday? You want to do a comic? Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
It's coming out on Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the deadline? Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, this was rocket fast for people that don't know. We might not have been completely forthcoming. Image has rules, and because retailers get stuck. Retailers get jammed up with books that never finish, books that are late, books, and so Image has made an effort, and I think it's had a really good impact on the industry. It's tough on creators, but it's had a better impact on the industry that. Hey, we can't solicit your book until you have multiple copies in the can, multiple issues in the can. And this is just me being honest now because things have worked out, and I knew that I could rely. That Nick is like an actual workhorse for a guy who is operating on a high level. He's also a worker, which is two things that you don't see very often. But I'll take full responsibility. I may not have been fully forthcoming with Image about how much work we had done. So
it was greenlit before we started any pages.
Yeah, well, we're not supposed to say that, but I'm
we could end up. We'll edit that out.
Really nice pitch. Really nice pitch.
It was a very good pitch, but I'm just very glad that firstly I'm glad that Image had the trust in us, but I'm also glad that Nick is the type of person that we can put the full faith in.
Thank you, Josh.
Oh, that's really nice.
Josh is a great up and coming guy. He's got his own book, Nightmare Nexus. So yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. How cool is it when you can be when somebody says, big inspiration, that you could be an inspiration on anybody in life is such a blessing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's a cool thing.
It does feed in the imposter syndrome.
Yeah, sure.
So I have
you
like my doodles? Thanks. Go.
You know what? I say this because I've been playing music. I'm playing these big.
Yeah, well, I was just about to ask you a question because right now I was going to ask you how tours going. You're touring with Deftones, so you're playing these huge arenas, and I've heard a rumor that you're living the big rock star lifestyle and breaking edge out here on this big tour, man.
I heard that. I heard that on a podcast. I heard it on a podcast
too. I don't know which one, but
I edit that podcast. I almost edited myself in saying no. It's funny. It's funny. Everybody's like, "Oh, where's Patrick? I bet he's doing cocaine somewhere." And meanwhile, I'm on the bus editing that in real time. Going, I'm up at fucking 3 a.m. in Germany editing this thing. That's what I'm doing.
You're doing drugs, drinking, eating meat. I mean,
I'll tell you what. I'm eating well, no meat, but I'm eating the catering on these things is fucking awesome.
Well, you had mentioned too when you did the Blink show, you said the catering was out of this world, right? So
these big shows, man, you can get hooked on the perks, like the the way that you're treated is really nice, I gotta say, and also the catering is fantastic. I've put on weight on tour in like this unfortunate way because I'm just overeating every day, and what I was gonna say was imposter syndrome. I gave up on it a long time ago because you can just scam your way into big rooms. I'm opening these big shows. I have no talent at all, and you can just scam your way. Don't worry about it. Yeah, everything's a scam. Don't worry about it.
You guys, like, I've seen you guys perform twice. The first time was at the Corona Theater in Montreal, and that had a barrier, right? But the sound, the sound was on point. I don't know who the sound guy was, but he had you guys on point. I was with a buddy who plays drums, and he's like, "Fuck, the sound is fantastic." He's like, "These guys fucking, like, it's just killing it. Like, the sound is just." And then I went and when you're on tour with Drain, I went and watched you guys at the Club Soda. No barrier, and let me tell you, barrier, no barrier, it's like fucking without a condom.
Oh, I know.
Listen, it's two completely different experiences, man.
It's two completely different experiences, and I do my best to enjoy sex with a condom as well. But but this is, it's different. It's certainly different. But this is all to say that the imposter syndrome, Nick, at this juncture, everybody recognizes that you're incredibly good at what you do, but also just
thank you.
general.
I'm just very, very, very uncomfortable with praise. That's it.
But you just got to recognize that life is so.
What I do, I'm glad that people like it. What I really like about what I'm doing is that I keep getting better every fucking page I make.
Well, you got an ID. Like, you have a very identifiable art style.
Well,
you
put the time.
I can't see it, but I hear it enough to believe it. Like, a lot of people are telling me, so I guess it's true. I can't see it. I'm just drawing, right?
You put the time in, right? Like they say, what's the old cliche? Draw every day.
10,000 hours.
That's what you do, right? So,
well, is it Kirby that said you're a comic artist when you've done 1,000 pages?
What you at?
I'm getting close to 2,000.
There you go.
I'd say you're there. I mean, listen, if this book doesn't prove that you're there, I don't know what the hell would, because this is a monthly book, everybody. Monthly book. That's crazy.
Starting March 11th. So mark it down on the calendars. Rush down to your shops, because I wouldn't be surprised with the way a lot of these books are going, especially this week. I've seen these books selling out like immediately. Comes out on Wednesday. On Thursday, it's sold out, and they're on eBay going for dumb prices, right? So I mean, there's a little books are selling well, and this is coming out within the next 3 weeks, so hopefully it'll be the same. So people get day one Wednesday.
Soon, Patrick.
It's soon.
In the door. Get in the shop.
We started Tuesday. It's
Tigress
coming out on
Island.
Thursday. Fuck.
So exactly. Well, I wanted to ask you from observation.
Yeah,
things are selling well, right? Like there's a little.
There seems to be a little up right now. It seems to
there
be
does.
Yeah.
God bless. I'm glad that we came in at the right moment. I've been at the wrong moment so many times in life. It's nice to be.
Yeah, because there was a little lull.
Yeah,
but there's some different stuff coming out.
Well, because one of the books that sold out quick was that
White Sky,
Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre by James Edward Clark, which is
that's a different sort of book.
Yeah, and that sold out pretty quick. And I think America does a variant cover, and both covers sold out, and they're going to second print. And then White Sky, White Night. What was it, Johnny? White Sky sold out, I guess, instantly as well, and that's going for like crazy prices on eBay as well. So
that's nuts.
I don't know.
Good,
yeah.
Good. I'm happy for everybody's success. The sellout thing is so interesting because technically it can mean anything. You know that. Like, it could mean that you sold 2,000 copies, but they're all gone, right?
Yeah.
So it's not it's a good judge that there's an appetite. But it tells me nothing about how books are doing. You know what I mean? Like, I heard, they're advertising the number for the Dork book, right?
Yeah, I heard too. That's one of the ones that was on the list. Yeah.
Those numbers are crazy, and if those numbers that I've been seeing are accurate, salute to that team because it's that's not an easy thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting around in awe of some people's success because when you do the same thing they do. And work month after month, you know how hard it is, and people try to make things into luck. Luck is hard. You know what I mean? Luck is not easy either. So
well, you got to do the work to then see if luck is there.
That's true. But I'm just happy for everybody's success. It's nice to see.
Yeah. On that note, I think we'll wrap up because I know you're both busy. Pat, you're on tour. Nick, you have to finish the pages for Tigress Island, the subject we've been talking about today. So before we go, do you guys have anything you'd like to plug? Any last things you'd like to shout out before we sign off?
Coming in the there is a Gehenna one shot coming with art from Atsuji Yamamoto. It's Gehenna in Tokyo. Okay. It'll be in the catalog shortly, and this is as wild a thing as I've ever been involved in. Atsuji is a master in my view. He works in a type of, his manga sensibilities speak to me so strongly. It's like what I love about manga, and being able to do this issue with him has been really fulfilling, but it's also a violent, sexed up fucking comic book. It's those things that you feel real gratitude that you get, that you're able to do in your career. And do you know how fun it is? I don't know. I know you everybody here probably knows this. You know how fun it is to write that somebody gets shot in the face, and then you get the pages in your inbox where somebody gets shot in the face. Can I tell you how fucking awesome that is when it looks great? And it's, at any rate,
just imagine Frank Miller when he got that one hard-boiled page from Jeff Doro.
Oh my God.
Imagine when he opened that up, it must have blown his mind, literally. Like almost, you know,
it's very fulfilling. You know, people, non-writers can't know. Artists really can't know either, because artists are always in their own head. They're always in their own fingers. They can't have the experience of being sent pages, and then you see the pages and you go, whoa, better than I thought. You know what I mean? Better than anything I could think of. And it's such a rewarding thing. But everybody, if you were a fan of the Gehenna series, one shots are kind of like the bane of retailers. They don't necessarily appreciate them, but I'm going to be writing retailers and saying, hey, I'd like you to put this beside the Gehenna trade and see if you can't get a little action on both, because this is going to grab people. It's got ludicrous covers. It's got the interiors are just so in the pocket for what people think manga is when they have a good memory of it and loved the extreme nature of it. But they're still seeking that, they're chasing that dragon. I think it hits those notes. So that's what I'd like to pump right now. In addition, of course, to Tigress Island, which issue 2 is available for order. Orders are still open. Put in those orders, please.
So pre-orders for the Lunar catalog. And what's Lunar and what's the other one?
Lunar and God damn it.
Random?
You know how old I am? I almost said Kappa.
I don't know. There's 2 different ones. I don't know what the other one is. Anyway,
here's all you need to know. You call your comic shop.
Have them pre-order it.
That's it.
The 2-month ahead pre-order is open now.
That's right.
And I think you'll want to get the second one after you've read the first one.
Well,
yes.
Obviously they will.
I'm feeling
then
strong.
You'll definitely want the third one, and then
it would be crazy not to get the fourth.
and then it's the last one. You might as well get that one too.
Yeah. So Nick, anything? We obviously you're working on Tigress Island, but is there anything you can announce or you want to announce?
Yeah. Well, Harpy just came out a month ago. Not even.
Yeah, about that. Just before Christmas.
It's my 300-page baby that I took 2 years to make.
Which you'll be back on the show March 8th, and we're going to be exclusively talking about this. I'll break out the camera. We'll flip through it on the camera, kayfabe stuff. Yeah.
I will reveal dark secrets, answer all the questions. It'll be Harpy hour for sure.
Yeah. March 8th.
Tigress Island. I have FFF, which is technically ready to go. I just want to fulfill the Kickstarter issues first, and the U.S. Customs are giving me a hard time. But it will be done. It is being done. It's being packed, and so it will be out. FFF will be out for anyone who wasn't part of the Kickstarter.
Well,
It will be available end of spring, early summer. I will officially have it on my store.
what you could do, Nick, is Patrick. Are you going back to Australia or the States after this?
Australia.
Okay, I was gonna say you could use Patrick as your mule. Just throw him in his bag if he's going to the States, and he can smuggle your comics into the U.S.
I don't know. It's 260 copies. That's a lot of.
Imagine
that's overhead. That's fine.
It's getting to the point so bad that you're using mules for comics, not drugs.
I mean, truly, shipping is getting there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
What else? This year, right after Mawrth Valliis, I am working on right after Tigress Island, I'm working on Mawrth Valliis 2, which is published with a French publisher, which I'm sure will make its way to the US then, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. But that is coming out this year in 2026. They're republishing issue 1. Just for the front. I mean, it's all in Martian, so it doesn't matter what the language is, but it's a new format, new everything. It looks really nice. And then I really like the way that he's pushing it out. It's the one, Mawrth Valliis is coming out at the beginning of the month, and then 2-3 weeks later, part 2, which is the exact same length, 136 pages. Boom. And that's coming out in September. I'm sure it'll make its way to the US, or else you can buy it online. I will have some. For those who want
in your shop, once your shop is back up and running, and
and then I'm gonna go hide under a rock and do my next big story, which will take me a year or something. I don't know. I'll keep doing covers, and that's what I have planned.
Awesome.
It is the year at EPHK, man. Hell yeah.
I think
both you guys. We've been waiting on your books for a while, and it's finally nice to have them hitting
They
shelves.
all come out at the same time.
Yeah.
This is years of work that just comes out at the same time.
Well,
if you like original art, all these pages will be for sale. I'm waiting a bit with Harpy to build the readership, because it has a different curve, But I think I'm going to wait 2 months per issue for Tigress Island to see if people are interested. They're beautiful pages. They're a bit different because they're painted. It's not just ink, but whatever. I'll put them all up.
Yeah, get your fan art and letters into the guys so they can post it in the back of the book.
Yes.
And man,
letters. Yes, let's get some letters, because we have a letter section.
Yeah.
In Tigress Island.
Yeah. Were those all fake letters, or is it from friends in the back? Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Never mind.
I'll let you think about that, though. First issue. I'll let you think about that.
Well, no, but I meant you send it out review copies, right?
Yeah, so sure.
People that got review copies, like
I guess that could be the truth.
Yeah. I mean, you could ask people, like, just write a little blurb about it, and we'll post it for the first newsletter. I mean, it's very reasonable expectation. Anyway, Johnny, any last closing comments or remarks or questions just before we sign off?
No, I think we got through everything.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure talking comics.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, fellas.
We do have 2 contests going. Like, if you go to our last Power Hour, you have 1 day left to join that and see if you can get a copy. But we just started a new one on our episode. Was it last night or the night before last?
Wednesday night,
yeah, on the Steve McArdle episode. If you go on there and type Vendetta in the comments, you can win a trade paperback of Vendetta. It's a 200-page book. It's wonderful. So just want to let people know about that. And tomorrow we're going to be back, another kind of early-ish episode, a little later than this one though. We're going to be talking to Jonathan Hedrick,
whatever. Patrick knows our pain. Patrick's not good at pronouncing names either.
No, I'm terrible.
So that'll be 1 p.m. Eastern show. We'll be talking to Jonathan about his Kickstarter hospice. There we go.
Right.
All right, guys. I guess that's it, right, Johnny?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, outro time, my man.
Get down. There we go.